A very good evening to you. Thank you everyone for joining us here on News Cycle. I am Uyag Mofwegbe. We'll take a quick break now. We'll bring you the rest of the news shortly. Hello and welcome to all of our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Uyag Mofwegbe. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times 276. You can download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our 247 broadcast. We apologize sincerely for bringing the news slightly behind schedule. It was occasioned by unforeseen technical challenges. Thank you so very much for your understanding. President of the Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC), Comrade Joe Ajaero, has alleged that workers in the country, including ordinary citizens, are facing a harrowing situation in which the civic space is being gagged and compressed to the extent that people can no longer express themselves freely without security measures being used to curtail them. He made this known at the 2025 Pre-May Day lecture themed Reclaiming the Civic Space in the Midst of Economic Hardship, held at the headquarters of the NLC. The federal government says it is making a move to enable states receive hundreds of billions of naira, being a 5-year backlog of Universal Basic Education Fund. The backlog dated back to the former President Muhammadu Buhari's second term in 2020. President Bola Tinubu, on his return from Paris last week, approved the plan by the Minister of Education, which included updated information of how the funds can transform basic education in each of the over 30 states expected to benefit from this new strategy. The Director General of the National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, Brigadier General Olakunle Nephew, has assured Corps members deployed to Zamfara State of adequate security and improved welfare during their service year. Brigadier General Nephew gave this assurance while addressing Corps members during his maiden visit to the temporary orientation camp in Gusau, the state capital. Ogochukwu Mobuno completes the report.
The Director General, National Youth Service Corps, Brigadier General Olakunle Nephew, visit to Zamfara State Temporary Orientation Camp, located at the Universal Basic Education Commission UBEC Training Center in Gusau. The state capital was the first time since his appointment. The Director General then proceeded to the orientation hall, where he interacted with Corps members and addressed key issues affecting their stay on camp.
Happy to see you, happy to meet you. Welcome, welcome.
The Director General cautioned corps members against the misuse of social media and night travel, which pose security risk. He assured them of the federal government's commitment to their welfare and safety throughout the service year.
I charge you to stay put. Don't put pressure to redeploy. When you are posted, know that some background checks and assessments have been done, and we believe you can survive there. And we will always be checking on you. When you have to travel officially, make sure you obtain official release. Do not travel at night.
The state coordinator, Mohammed Ahmed, says 611 corps members, comprising 414 male and 197 female, were registered and have already adapted to camp life with so much discipline and enthusiasm.
The corps members have quickly adapted to the new environment and are responding positively to all camp activities and instructions. High level of cooperation, synergy, and teamwork among the camp officials.
The visits provided an opportunity for the NYSC DG to motivate corps members and reinforce the NYSC's dedication to youth development and national integration in Zamfara State. Ogochukwu Mobno reporting for Global Television News.
Thank you, Ogochukwu. Borno State Fire Service has clarified that the fire outbreak that led to the explosion at the armory in Gewa Barracks in Maiduguri, the state capital, may have been triggered by the extreme heat in the state. A statement by Directorate of Fire Service, Ministry of Information and Internal Security in the state noted that the fire had been put out. Workers in Imo State have joined their counterparts across the country to mark this year's Workers' Day. Our correspondent, Samarachi Ibe, spoke with a few of them before the event to get their impressions and expectations.
The 2025 May Day celebration in Zamfara State was held at Gusau Trade Fair Complex with a colorful march past by various affiliates of the Nigerian Labour Congress and the trade union.
This is Global Television. You're watching the live broadcast of News Cycle with Uyi Agumofwegbe. When the rest of the news returns shortly, U.S. urges India and Pakistan to defuse tensions after Kashmir killings. Details coming shortly, plus business and sports stories on the other side of this break. Do stay with us.
Do you know that Global Television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world?
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch Global Television real-time from around the world. What are you waiting for?
Start downloading and stay connected to Global Television.
Thank you for staying with us, everyone, here on News Cycle. We turn to our earlier report now, where workers in Imo State have joined their counterparts across the country to mark this day. Our correspondent, Samarachi Ibe, spoke with a few of them before the event to get their impressions and expectations.
The meeting with the team, building mutual trust for national unity, brought together key religious and political leaders to promote harmony and peaceful coexistence. Representing President Tinubu, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, conveyed the President's message of goodwill and pledged continued federal support for interfaith collaboration.
Let me assure you that the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, through its 8-point agenda, which encompasses critical areas such as food security, ending poverty, growing the economy, job creation, and access to capital, improved security and a fair playing field, rule of law and the fight against corruption, remains committed to creating an inclusive, peaceful, and progressive Nigeria where every citizen, regardless of religion or ethnicity, can survive and thrive.
In his welcome remarks, Imo State Governor Senator Hope Uzodinma applauded NIREC for its efforts in reducing religious tensions. He urged Nigerians to replace fear and suspicion with love, trust, and mutual respect.
I urge your council to remain resolute in leading the way to a united Nigeria where peace, love, and mutual trust are the bedrock of national pride. I strongly believe that together we can turn our diversity into opportunities and make our country one of the greatest nations on earth.
The Sultan of Sokoto and co-chairman of NIREC, His Eminence Mohammed Said Abubakar, along with the President of Christian Association of Nigeria, Most Reverend Daniel Oko, both stressed the critical role of religious leaders in promoting dialogue and unity across the country.
So let's work towards loving one another, loving your neighbor, being good to everybody. Pray for our leaders at every time so that God will touch their hearts. They do good things that we will enjoy, will have peace, we have stability.
If we are to move forward, we must acknowledge the wounds of the past, whether they be political, religious, economic, or ethnic, and commit ourselves to honest dialogue, forgiveness, and restorative justice.
The President of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Nigeria, Most Reverend Lucius Ugoji, and the Chief Imam of Imo State, Sheikh Suleiman Njoko, highlighted the importance of interfaith cooperation in maintaining national peace and cohesion.
Religious leaders, under the platform of NIREC, have to promote peace and be seen as instruments of peace and harmony, even though in diversity means a lot to us.
With voices from both religious and political circles echoing a unified message, the NIREC meeting in Owerri underscored the need for trust, dialogue, and collaborations as the foundations for a peaceful and united Nigeria. From Owerri, Amarachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV News.
Imo State's correspondent Amarachi Ibe, we appreciate you for your reporting. Now let's turn to confirmed a 1.5 trillion naira investment in a major highway spanning over 900 kilometers to be delivered through 25-year public-private concession agreements under the Highway Development and Management Initiative. The announcement follows a high-level meeting chaired by Minister of Finance and coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, alongside a Minister of Budgets and Economic Planning, Senator Abubakar Bagudu. Let's turn to other stories for you now on the foreign scene. The United Nations has identified climate change, women's rights, displacement, and poverty as some of the most pressing challenges facing Afghanistan under its Taliban leadership. Fletcher's visit comes after U.S. President Donald Trump's decision to slash foreign aid sent shockwaves across the globe. Washington had been the top donor to Afghanistan, having spent $3.71 billion in humanitarian and development aid since the Taliban returned to power in 2021 and imposed a severe interpretation of Islamic law.
So we're in a period when we're having to massively prioritize, take brutal choices, life and death, literally life and death choices about where to operate and which lives to save. And the needs of the Afghan people are right up there on that list. You can look at Sudan for the scale of the crisis. You can look at Gaza for the intensity, the ferocity of the killing there. Afghanistan is a different kind of challenge, but it's a huge challenge nonetheless.
Fletcher, however, says specific measures must be taken to address the problems in Afghanistan.
So I think there's a dialogue there, and you have to engage. There has to be space for diplomacy. And ultimately we have to focus on, what's the outcome we're trying to get to here, which from my perspective is saving as many lives as possible and ensuring that you've got that security, justice, opportunity for all Afghans, men and women.
Uyi Agmofwegbe, reporting for Global Television News. Ukraine and the United States have signed a much-anticipated natural resources deal after months of tense negotiations. The deal, which says the U.S. will share profits from future sales of Ukraine's mineral and energy reserves, aims to incentivize Washington to invest further in Ukraine's defense and reconstruction. In a different development, the United States has urged India and Pakistan to work together to de-escalate tensions after a deadly militant attack in India-administered Kashmir last week, which killed 26 civilians. Secretary of State Marco Rubio held separate talks with India's foreign minister and Pakistan's prime minister and called on them to maintain peace and security in South Asia. India accuses Pakistan of supporting militants behind the 22 April attack at a scenic meadow near the resort town of Palham. Islamabad rejects the allegations. All right, let's bring you some excitement from the world of sports now. Ogun State government says it is determined to boost the economy of the state through the National Sports Festival, which is scheduled to hold between 16 and 30 of May 2025. Speaking in an interview with newsmen in Abeokuta, the state capital, Commissioner for Sports Development Wasiu Isiaka stressed that the festival will create direct and indirect jobs for residents of the state. Samuel Odi completes the story.
The 22nd National Sport Festival, also known as Gateway Games, is set to feature a wide range of sports, including football, volleyball, and basketball. The Commissioner for Sports Development, Wasiu Isiaka, says the government is working diligently to complete the renovation of the sports facilities for the upcoming festival, adding that the government will ensure that the facilities are well maintained even after the festival, leaving a lasting legacy for the state's sports development.
Preparation is going very well. I think the stage we are presently is to dot our I's and cross our T's. Of course, you can see the level of preparation for yourself. At least we've gone around together. This is just one of the facilities that we are using. We are using another one at Ijeja. There is one at Remo Star facility. And there's another one at Shagamu, NYC camp. So everything, we are very good.
He noted that the state government will deploy security operatives at the venue of the festival and other key places in the state to adequately secure visitors and non-visitors.
Security, we have several subcommittees, and security committees is one of them. And this is not a festival that is being controlled or organized by Ministry of Sport Development only. We are just the coordinator. We have several agencies, ministries, parastatals that are involved, and all of us are working around the clock to ensure that we deliver the best festival.
No fewer than 15,000 athletes are expected to participate in the Games, with Babcock University to serve as a Games village. Samuel Odi reporting for Global Television News.
Thank you, sports correspondent Samuel Odi. Ernesto Valverde says he's hopeful Athletic Club can fend off interest from Barcelona and the Premier League, as well as keep Nico Williams in Bilbao next season. Williams is set to lead Athletic Club in their Europa League semi-final first leg against Manchester United at San Mamés on May 1st. It comes amid renewed talk of move to either Barcelona, Arsenal or Chelsea in the summer. Valverde, however, is determined to keep hold of the 22-year-old winger. And that's a full cycle here on the news. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV, channel 365 and Star Times 276. We encourage you to follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using @Global TV NG. And you can download our app, the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices from across your respective stores. I'm Uyi Agmofwegbe saying a big thank you to you for watching. I'll see you when it's time for News Prime.